What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. I hope that everybody here is doing very well. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Kevin Cortez. This is where we talk about everything in regards to FC Barcelona in terms of like transfer news, player analysis, player anything, right? Player transfers, everything. Everything in between with FC Barcelona, we talk about it here. And, I'm very excited because I'm currently looking at the preseason and I'm looking at the games Barcelona is playing against Birmingham or something like that. I wanted to take this time while I'm watching this game, literally watching it like right here, but speak about this brand new Barcelona that we are going to be witnessing, right? It's one of the most exciting things that I think is going to be going on within this club, especially with Hansi Flick. We're looking at Flick's 3.0 team. This is the third version. We have seen the first version in his first season, the second version in his second season, and now we're in the third version. I'm sure that we have learned a lot of things throughout all of these games, and that is why I want to make this video, because we will be making some modifications. We will be making some changes, and you can see what type of changes we have been making through the transfers that Barcelona have made. And so I do think that Flick will not be abandoning Barcelona's identity. If you guys were to assume, right, that, oh yeah, Flick is going to be changing the identity because maybe we just need to win the Champions League and maybe that's the solution, right? Like, that is not going to be the answer. Flick will continue to have the exact same Barcelona identity. I just think that he's going to be giving it more gears, more solutions. I really do think that Barcelona could dominate the possession, overwhelm the opponent, but at the same time know when to do it, because sometimes Barcelona was a team that did press and sometimes they did not need to press. Sometimes they just needed to stay back, right? Instead of just going out there to press, leaving open spaces, Barcelona need to become much more mature, much more selective, and I think that that is where Flick and the rest of the squad is going. They're going to be controlling matches through possession. They're going to be attacking the spaces at devastating speed, right? At a speed that we have never seen before. I do believe that we're also going to be seeing them press relentlessly, not recklessly, but relentlessly and smartly. We're going to be rotating our squad much more than ever before without losing our intensity. And for sure, one of the biggest modifications that I think that all of us would love to see is Barcelona being able to dominate Champions League knockout matches, where we can say we're going to dominate you for the first 60 minutes, score as many goals as possible, and then recognize that maybe we need to relax a little, play a little more defensive, not play defensive, but a little more defensive compared to how we usually play, and we dominate from there, protect our lead. Those are the modification, my friends. Barcelona will be changing. Like I've said, our style, the essence will still be there. It's just that we're going to be seeing some small little tweaks. When we look back at the 2025-2026 season, our league numbers were very outstanding. We ended with 94 points, 95 goals being scored, which is 18 more than Real Madrid, where they have Vini, Kylian Mbappe, and Bellingham. Barcelona were superior. Our average possession was 68.91%. Our league high was 692 shots, right? That is a lot. 692 shots. That is Barcelona trying to test the opposition over and over again. 164 opposition offsides as well. The fewest shots conceded and 21 points recovered from losing position. That's crazy, right? However, in European knockout football, it exposed a different reality, because Barcelona were knocked out by Atletico Madrid twice, once in the Copa del Rey and once in the Champions League. And that is because Barcelona's defensive problems repeatedly followed the exact same pattern, meaning Barcelona pressed high. We saw the opponent escape the first line of pressure, like always. The striker, we usually saw them from the opposition drop towards the midfield, pull one of our defenders away, and then we saw a runner attack the open spaces that Barcelona left behind at the back, and Barcelona were left defending a sprint towards their own goal. We saw that over and over again in many games, not just against Atletico Madrid, but also against Chelsea, against PSG, against, of course, Atletico, sometimes Real Madrid. We saw that many times. And I think that Barcelona have to fix that, which is going to lead me towards a few points that I do have. Because like I've said, Barcelona, they were dominating in the league, but in the Champions League, in the Copa del Rey, those knockout matches, Barcelona, for some reason, just could not protect their lead, right? We were making many mistakes. Sometimes we were doing a lot of things right, But that one thing that we did wrong cost us the whole game. And so Barcelona will be changing for sure, which is going to lead me towards a few points that I do want to make. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment sections down below, what do you believe Barcelona should be changing? I would love to hear your guys' inputs. And so once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. So Hansi Flick does not need to rebuild everything. What he does need to do is make the system less vulnerable when plan A temporarily stops working, which is going to lead me towards point number 1. Barcelona are going to become dramatically faster. This is one of the goals that Hansi Flick has. He thinks that with the signing of Anthony Gordon and Karim Adeyemi, Barcelona's attack will be faster, and this does reveal Flick's central idea. Anthony Gordon's top recorded speed was 37.92 kilometers an hour during last season's Champions League. Adeyemi has reached 36.65 kilometers an hour, and both can press, both can carry the ball very long and attack behind the defensive line. Gordon also produced 10 goals and 2 assists in 12 Champions League appearances for Newcastle, and Adeyemi registered 3 goals and 2 assists in 9 European matches for Borussia Dortmund. So this is a drastic change, and Barcelona will no longer need 15 to 20 passes before threatening the opponent. Barcelona can now recover the possession and immediately send Gordon or Adeyemi behind the defense. They can also escape an opposition press with one vertical pass. Trust me, Barcelona will be making those long passes, and Adeyemi, Gordon alongside with Rafinha and Lamine Yamal are going to eat those up. Moving on towards point number 2. Flick is building a starting 15 and not really a starting 11, because the biggest value of Gordon and Adeyemi is, yes, speed, but also the positional flexibility, because Barcelona described Gordon as a very hard-working winger who can operate through the middle. 9 of his 17 goals last season reportedly came while leading Newcastle's attack, and Adeyemi can play as a left winger, as a right winger, as a center forward. This does give Flick several different combinations without making substitutions purely because of injury. Lamine Yamal can act as a 10 with Anthony Gordon on the left and Adeyemi on the right. You can have Rafinha on the left with Yamal on the right and Adeyemi as a 10. You could have Adeyemi play on the right wing position with Anthony Gordon as the striker, Rafinha on the left, and Fermin Lopez as a number 10. This revolution that we're having here might just be that Barcelona no longer have a untouchable front 3. Long gone are the days of Barcelona being set with Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, or Barcelona being set with Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal. Now we're going to go into this brand new season with a new team where a front 3 could be changing every weekend. Moving on towards point number 3, the pressing will become more selective. This could be the most important tactical modification, something that we discussed in the beginning of this video. We have seen Flick's original Barcelona, the first season by the way, attempt to press high for almost the entire match, and the outcome from that is the players eventually became tired or they arrived late, and a late press, to be honest, is often worse than no press because it's going to lead towards the open spaces behind the attacking line and the midfield line. Even Eric Garcia, who is one of our players, explained that the players learned to recognize when they should be pressing, regain their shape, and wait for another opportunity. Is one of the reasons why Spain have been able to be so successful during the last World Cup. And why they won the whole goddamn thing is because they were very selective on when to press and never losing their shape whatsoever. So expect to see Barcelona alternate between an aggressive high press to a compact 4-4-2 mid-block. We could see short periods of deeper defending as well and have immediate counter pressing after selective turnovers. I would say that Barcelona will have more clarity on what triggers to look for when going for the press. For example, if they see the opposition go for a backward pass, you press. If they see the opposition have a poor first touch, you press. If they see the opposition pass towards the touchline, they will press. If they see the goalkeeper receive with their weak foot, they will press. Or if they see an opponent receiving with his back towards Barcelona's goal, they will press. Which leads us towards the next point. And I believe that we will see Barcelona have better protection behind the attack. Barcelona's biggest structural task is improving the rest defense. The rest defense simply means the players positioned behind the ball while Barcelona are attacking. Their job is to stop a counterattack before it does develop. And so we could expect to see a correction, which is going to be much more consistent into a 3+2 security structure. So it's going to look a lot like having Eric Garcia as the right center back, Kubarsi as the man in the middle with Gerard Martin on the left center back position. And then as for our CDMs, it could be Marc Bernal and Pedri. That will be our rest defense structure, is a 3+2 formation. And to make sure that these players are well positioned so they can always stop a counterattack before it does develop. That's going to be very important. And then lastly, Barcelona will be much smarter harder when they're leading, because like we have explained in the beginning of the video, Barcelona recovered 21 points from losing positions, which yes does demonstrate their mentality, but it also did show how frequently they allowed the opponents to score first, and we don't need that. We don't need that type of headache. We don't need those type of heart attacks. Even Flick acknowledged during last season that Barcelona needed greater concentration from the opening minute because they had made avoidable mistakes leading to early goals. We don't need that. Barcelona should be starting strong. We should be capable of leading matches 2-0, 3-0 before the 45th minute, especially in the European matches where things are very chaotic and very open. Even in the match against PSG, Flick did say after the game that Barcelona were going through fatigue, poor defensive structures as well, and he also asked for Barcelona to play more intelligently when the score was 1-1. So there is a lot to learn from here, and I do believe that Barcelona will be touching on these things and be a better version of themselves as we go into this brand new season. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.